Let's get into the whole controversy. Tony Weeks, he made some comments after after a few days. I'm sure he was feeling the criticism. Um, he says, and I quote, "What the public didn't know that prior to the fight, they did a brain scan on him and it came up that he had aneurysm, and they
Wow.
did a test again, and the same aneurysm came up. Another doctor was brought in and gave him the same examination, and he tested negative, so they cleared him to fight." Now, allegedly, this was posted on his Facebook page and has been deleted since. So, Golden Boy made a statement. I know they posted a story on their Instagram saying that uh, Lawson was cleared to fight, and if anyone had any questions, they can ask the Nevada State Athletic uh, uh, Commission, and of course, the commission has also denied that. So, uh, man, those are crazy comments by Tony Weeks, whether they're true or not. Because if it's true, obviously, there's a lot of people that you can hold accountable for that. And if they are false, obviously, terrible look. It seems like he's just saying it to save his ass. But uh, yeah, Chris, I don't know what you make of these comments. I don't know if you heard the comments or if this is your first time hearing them, but that's what Tony Wiggs allegedly posted via one of his social medias.
That this is the first time I hear of that, so that's shocking. Yeah, for him to say that, it makes sense then why he, prematurely stopped it. That looks super shady on whoever sanctions this fight. If you get a result that shows an aneurysm, how does it just go away? That's super shady. If it shows up, then it's there. Again, I know it's very close to the fight. Maybe they couldn't find a replacement. Um, the people that are working this event, obviously didn't want to lose out on their bag. Um, yeah, that's telling. And I did see the post by Golden Boy on the social. I just didn't know exactly what it meant. But yeah, that's really telling, man. I don't know. Again, it kind of we kind of see why he stopped it at that moment. It just makes you question if Lawson should have been cleared at all for this fight. Yeah, man, that's it's tough. That's tough.
Big Bro says, even if that was true, why did he agree to be the referee? Sounds like a guy with no principles, with no integrity or principles. Uh, Support Local Boxer says he's toying with these people's money and career. Tony Weeks messed it up for the commission for speaking. Says
Yep.
very shady. Absolutely should be demoted from doing these big fights. And let's see, what else do we have here? People going in on Tony Weeks. Uh, he's past his prime. They also say, what if Barroso never got that opportunity again? Of course, you guys remember he was in that Rolly fight, Rolly against Barroso with that grotesque stoppage. And then Big Bro adds, once the fight started as a ref, he is supposed to be unbiased and just officiate what's happening in the ring, man. Look, my thing is whether it's true or not, he looks bad in all of this, Chris. If it's
Yeah.
true, you're snitching out the promotional company, you're snitching out the Nevada State Athletic Commission, you're snitching out everybody involved, the doctors. If it's not true, obviously, now he probably has bigger issues. You know, they're probably not going to want to hire him again for any big events. But yeah, those are explosive allegations. Uh, if it look again, if it's true, then you got to blame Lawson's corner too. Like you said, everyone's trying to get paid, but if it's true to put someone's well-being on the line, I mean, to me that was probably the most shocking part because I'm sure people wouldn't have forgot about it, you know, Tony Week's decision, just like we haven't forgotten about the fight with Rolly and Barroso. But I don't know. I don't know if this is it for Tony Weeks. I don't know if we'll see him again after these declarations after such a bad stoppage.
Yeah, when I hear comments, after bad fights like this, you always see Tony Weeks should retire. Oh, that was a bad call. He should never call a fight again. Like, I take those with a grain of salt, but I mean, that's also kind of telling. Like, are you slipping? It's like some people have said, are your best days of repping behind you? It just like fighters, have their moment, they have their prime, and then they go over the hill. It happens for everybody. So, I mean, this is the second one as of late, Gio, that sticks out. And like you said, if he knew all those things, and then you can keep that to yourself sometimes, but maybe just the social media comments, the messages, the calls, maybe it got to him, and he outed out, the powers that be. So I don't know, man. I don't know if he'll get any more assignments. You think of guys like Richard Steele. They were involved in some of the biggest fights, and then little by little they get less and less bigger fights until they call it a day and they retire. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happens with Tony Weeks again. Yeah, maybe his best days are behind him.
Poor local boxer said this was a guy who was covered in blood in that Badu Jack fight. He also, our guy Jess, shout out to him. He says he was still going to get knocked out. He does think it was a premature stoppage. Support local boxer says Virgil Sr. said he was 3 punches away. And he was, but it wasn't a satisfying win. And I agree with all those points. I don't think he was badly hurt, as Gabriel Rosado said on the live broadcast. He said, I mean, look, he's a fighter. And Chris, this might be a backhanded compliment, but he's been hurt many, many times. Gabe Rosado, so he knows how that feels like. So I believe him. I trust him. He said Lawson was gathering himself. He was trying, obviously, to survive. And Chris, this is the first round. If this is round 8 and he's lost every single round, nobody complains. But it's a minute and a half into the fight. Obviously premature. Obviously, I think none of us here would disagree that Lawson was going to get stopped. If it wasn't in the first round, maybe in the next round, maybe Virgil would have carried him a little bit. But, Virgil stunned him with a jab. He said, I didn't even land it that hard, and I was able to stun him. So, that kind of tells you where the fight was going. But nonetheless, as Big Bro says, you got to officiate what's going on in the fight.